This is a story of somewhat known Hatfields and McCoys. The Hatfields and McCoys were two different families that didn't like each other. The two families went through many disputes that lasted over many years' time. These two families are a prime example of conflict in history. In 1865, the Hatfields lived in West Virginia, while the McCoys were living in Kentucky. The Hatfields and McCoys lived on opposite sides of a creek called Tongue Fork. All they had to do is walk across the creek and they would be in each other's land.
The first step in the decade-long feud was over the murder of Asa Harmon McCoy. Asa Harmon McCoy was Randolph McCoy's brother. Asa was murdered by the Logan Wildcats. The militia group began on the West Virginia-Kentucky border. The Logan Wildcats was a militia group. Many Hatfields, including William Devilance, were members of the militia group. This murder is commonly believed to be the spark that ignited the bonfire that was the feud. The murder happened in 1865. The second event was a dispute over a single hog. It wasn't that difficult for them to fight over the hog. The hog belonged to the family of Randolph McCoy in 1878. Randolph accused Floyd Hatfield of stealing the pig. Randolph McCoy sued Floyd Hatfield in 1878. The trial took place in McCoy territory, but the judge was the cousin of Devilance. Floyd's charges were cleared against him. Shortly after the pig confrontation in 1880, the feud sparked again with the death of Stanton Hatfield. Stanton was killed by two nephews of Randall McCoy, Sam and Paris McCoy. Stanton's death occurred during a brawl between the two families. The outrage continued when Sam McCoy was released based on a claim of self-defense. Paris was never arrested or went to trial. Later in 1880, the feud took an unexpected turn and the type of fight was occurring. During an election event, Rosina, the daughter of Randolph McCoy, and John Hatfield, the son of Devilance, met. The young couple quickly started a romance similar to that of Romeo and Juliet. As the relationship began, Rosina feared that her family would agree with them and would strike out with violence. Rosina went to live with the McCoys for a period of time. Within months, Rosina became pregnant, but John was not interested in marrying her and instead abandoned her. In August of 1882, the feud took its most violent turn that sent the two families into a dark period. Three of Randolph McCoy's sons got into a violent fight with two brothers of Devilance. The fight went from violent to deadly when one of the McCoy brothers stabbed Ellison Hatfield multiple times. After the stabbing, he shot the Hatfield in the back. The McCoys were quickly apprehended by the police. However, the Hatfield family intercepted the McCoys and instead took them back to their own land. The Hatfields received word that the brother who had been stabbed had died. The Hatfields proceeded to kill all three of the McCoy boys. The police quickly charged 20 of the Hatfields, including Devilance and his sons, with the murder of the McCoys. The Hatfields were able to avoid being arrested. In 1889, the final trial began. In the end, 8 Hatfields and their supporters were sentenced to life in prison. Ellison Mounts was believed to be the son of Ellison Hatfield and was sentenced to death. People have said that his last words were, "They made me do it. The Hatfields made me do it."